Nature is busy creating unique individuals, whereas culture has invented a single mode to which all must conform. It is grotesque. By Krishnamurti.
Hello, everyone. This is author PB Flower. Welcome to the 19th episode of my podcast. Today's topic is replication. By the way, I want to give some credit to my daughter for doing all this and this. I'm very enthusiastic. Okay, so when Krishnamurti said that nature is busy creating unique individuals, whereas culture has invented a single mold to which we all must conform. Maybe he was saying that for the schooling system. I don't know. Maybe mostly. But we all know that this conformation is rampant at workplace, in terms of parenting and society in general. Our schools are not interested in knowing what a child's natural inclination is, because that task is just too burdensome. We have already endorsed an idea of how kids should learn. You won't believe that my daughter was told that she is not allowed to do mental math. She was forced to write down every step, even if it was 2 plus 2. And the math teacher had these ways of, dumbing the steps down and then coming up with the answers that my daughter could quickly do in her head. But that was unacceptable because there are all kinds of range of people or range of students in there in the classroom, right? Some are not up to that level, some are high up here, but they all have to come and meet in the medium or at the center point. And the teachers were basically asking to replicate what they had laid out, right? It was all about replication. They have a mold, they're going to press everybody in there. Anything innate or different is not entertained in our schooling system. It's all about replication. So let's read an excerpt from my series, All Kaal None. All Kaal None, and understand our fascination with replication. So here, the premise is that the characters Eclave and Zenith, they are discussing about science and many other things, but we are going to focus on science here. So Zenith says, science is broader than that. So Eclave responds, no, creation is not for humans. They can only come up with the inverse. Our creation is expanding, a pendant pyramid, from none to all. When humans see creation, it is a pyramid from all to none. So they can only create a mirror image, inverted, artificial replication. And science is all about how, not why. This why is beyond them because there is no reason for why, as it is random. And that is unacceptable to humans. So Zenith says, well, any invention is new to us, and these discoveries make our lives better. So Eclave says, well, better than what? The world is heading towards destruction, not betterment. It is a law of nature. If you look at it objectively, you will see. It is just a change. New, I agree, but not better. So Zenith is saying, well, technology has made our lives interesting and better. So she's stressing that science is doing something interesting and better. I respectfully disagree with you. So she countered throwing a kiss in the air and bowing her head, doing some theatrics. So Eclave is saying, well, it is not better, gorgeous. Technology is forgiving, but nature is not. There is a cost to pay for everything you do. With technology, mistakes can be fixed easily. The very principle of survival is being condemned, outsourcing all the work to machines, making your lot docile. Life is now boring, not interesting. Humans are not living as intended by creation. It is artificial. So of course, Eclave has pointed out a lot of things here, with technology, everything is forgiving. And we must understand that because in nature, if it is all about survival, if you make a mistake, you'll be dead. There is no room for forgiveness over there. But now we have come up with technology where we have delete button, we have backspace, we can fix things. But anyway, so Zenith is saying, well, science has answered many questions. So Eclave says, science is another form of greed, exploiting nature for their benefit, nothing great. It seeks an answer to all that you humans are curious about, to profit, to see how much control can be wielded on people, to instill fear. Same as belief. There's a thin fuzzy line between science and belief. There comes a point when you cannot tell the difference between them. The same is true for society and its rules. All these lines characterizing law and justice, age appropriateness, clothing choice, sexual consent, and biological identity are painfully blurred. That is what I keep pointing out, ambiguity. So that's what Eclef is saying. He's just frustrated with all these lines that we draw, right? We conveniently draw lines so that it's all based on what suits us. Whatever the current norms of the society is, whatever suits us, we have all these lines, and then we sit inside those lines and anything else is unacceptable. So what are we doing? We are conforming ourselves, right? Restricting. So Zenith is saying, well, what is the point of it all? So she's epically frustrated because of all the argument that Eclef has set forth. So Eclef is not going to let go, though, even though she just said, what is the point of it all? She's frustrated. So he's saying, well, line is blur. So stop differentiating. Stop separating yourself from this existence to know more. It is all the same, nothing. The happiest person is the one who does not have much of anything. Thought, wealth, emotional range, brain capacity. The one who does not draw parallels or comparisons. They do not have choices, giving them the freedom to be ignorant. And that is truly bliss. So you have, I think the very important line here, whatever Eclef said, is that stop separating yourself from the existence to know more, because that's, I think, what the science community intends to do. We separate ourselves from everything, and at a micro level, like we are going deeper and deeper and deeper into things, and we are separating ourselves. And the deeper you go into the creation, you will see that there is nothing. And that's why he's saying that it is all the same. At that level, when you will reach that level, you will see that it is all the same. It's nothing. So quite profound here, but unfortunately, most of us don't ever understand that. But anyway, Zenith is saying, I don't even remember being truly ignorant or free. So that's true for most humans, I think. We are not allowed to be ignorant. We are not allowed to be free. We better keep learning. We better keep changing because things are changing. And we better conform. We can't be free, although we think we are free. So Eclef is saying, well, how can you? Humans start feeding their offsprings with information as soon as they are born, feeding what they know, which is so little compared to what exists. Yet, most humans claim to be experts on something. A genuine person is always in doubt. So Zenith is confused. She's asking, why the doubt? If somebody is an expert, why would they be doubtful? So Eclef is saying, a genuine human being can see this world beyond brain power. And when that depth stares back, it makes them realize they are lacking. Again, it's very deep, whatever Eclef just said, because most of these scientists who are now leaning towards the metaphysical aspect of our universe, they have come to realize that. And even Einstein, if you look at all these big scientists, that truly got so deep, and when that depth stared back, it made them realize that they are lacking. Only a very shallow person will be walking around claiming to be an expert or a genius or whatever. So anyway, Zenith is saying, should we stop discovering then? So Eclef is saying, we'll stop glorifying and celebrating it like it's a miracle. Or don't, because he doesn't care. Because humans themselves will refute their findings and move on to the next thing. Their window in the vastness of existence is so small. Whatever is a fact today will be disproved tomorrow. So that's what Eclef here is pointing out, is that we ourselves, we as humans, we discover so many things we haven't stopped discovering because we are just not satisfied with anything. We are refuting whatever studies we come up with, because there's always a new study saying, well, now this, and not what was there in the past. We ourselves refute that. We ourselves keep on improving our inventions. we're not satisfied. So Zenith is supporting humans by saying if a human being comes to be of knowledge, they want to share it, even if it gets trashed in future. So of course, I mean, she's saying that, okay, yeah, but what is wrong in improving ourselves? You know, we whatever we come up with, we want to share it. So Iklev is saying true. That is why, to me, a scientist, a motivational speaker, and a stand-up comedian are the same. Because they feel they have something to give, share, when all they want is to be famous so that their legacy lives on. So he bundled up all these people with different skills together because everyone is the same to him. But mainly he's bundling scientists and others together because he's saying that what he's agreeing with Zenith. He's saying that, yeah, you think that you have something to share, and that's why you do that. You think that you have something great that you have come up with. So the key takeaway is that us humans are probably amusing ourselves into thinking that we are doing something unique, when in reality we are just replicating what already exists in nature. And we want it to be celebrated because we crave to be recognized for it, as it is in competition with the creation. You know, whatever is there, we have replicated that and we feel so happy about it, right? So the question is there anything wrong with that, with whatever we are doing? Well, there is no right or wrong. Now, I want to read another excerpt to perhaps understand the difference between creation and our replication, as Iklavya pointed out, because creation is from none to all, and our replication, he said, is from all to none. So now in this except also there's characters Iklavya and Zenith, and the premise is here that Iklavya picked up Zenith for another get together with his college mates, and she was admiring his alien abilities. Maybe he was showing off before he picked her up. So Zenith is saying, if I were you, I would be helicoptering all over the place. And she gestured fine action. And so Iklavya says, I don't exercise powers and abilities to mimic or compete with the creator. One is enough. And he winked. So Zenith says, I guess there will be more chaos, I suppose. So Iklavya says, this creation is violently dynamic and yet fantastically stable. That is the difference between the creator and humans. Human invention is discontinuous, targeted for perfection, causing imbalance and linear, while the universe is self-sustained, imperfect, balanced, and cyclical. So here is the perfect, comparison that he drew between humans and the creation or replication and what truly exists in nature. Because why he said that our creation or our invention is discontinuous, because we discontinue that. We do that. We come up with stuff, but it becomes redundant very soon. Why do we have so many versions of, let's say, cell phones? Because we are continually improving. We cannot come up with something which is perfect because it needs boost. We know that there is something better there. We know that. So now Iklavya here has brilliantly pointed out that we ourselves will discard whatever we have invented because of our fascination with perfection and our inability to replicate what exists in nature without any probe, right? We have come up with all these gadgets, but they all need power source. It is not cyclical. It is not self-sustained. It will die down and go waste, taking forever to get back to the root elements if discarded in nature, or decomposed, if that's what you understand. So in my first book from the series All Kaal None, this character Asher had said something very interesting. So there's this another character, Anish, there, and Anish is congratulating Asher over something that he has done in his advanced facility. And so Anish is saying, I wish you all the best with your invention. So Asher replies saying, thank you, Anish. It is not an invention, but a replication. No one can invent, create, or discover what is not already there. So he summarized everything that I have said, so far, that we cannot come up with something new. We can never invent, create, or discover what is not already there. And that is what perhaps we need to understand, that all these people that they say that they are doing something great, all you need to do is look at whatever they're doing. And I bet you will find that it is to replicate something that's already there in nature. They want to replicate it technologically. Something that is working efficiently on its own in nature, we will come up with some other technology, like we are coming up with robots, the AI infused robots, which are mimicking the expressions and all of that. I mean, what is so great about that? We are doing that on our own, right? As humans are doing it. Most pets that we conform to our lifestyles are doing it. What is so great about that? But we are like, oh my God, yeah. Anyway, what annoys me the most is that when I see all these videos where they show animals mimicking humans, and that is just super amusing to us because we see them wearing clothes and it makes everyone smile, right? But it's replication. So I want to read another excerpt to focus on the concept of Shala so that I can circle back to what Yuji Krishnamurti said about, that we are individuals, but we end up conforming to this one mold. So in my series All Kaal None, I have conceptualized this learning system, which is very advanced, and it is for the higher beings on another planet, Swaloka. And in this excerpt, the premise is that this character, Raketu, is pregnant with Roy's child. Roy is the engineered being, and he completed his learning in Shala. So he's advocating Shala for his son that Raketu is bearing at the moment. She's pregnant with their son. And so Roy is saying it is very technologically advanced, a replication of creation, but real to the perceiver, an advanced machinery enclosure, campus, as the surface dwellers may understand. Shala does not know who gets in. There is no restrictions. However, once anyone enters, they cannot get out until upon completion of one's journey. There are no scripts. A native adaptive intelligence present stems from traits of the entering being's scintilla level makeup. Measures for exiting are built based on response to elements detected. So I know it's a mouthful, so let me explain that. So in this Shala structure, what is happening is that there is nothing in there. Okay, as soon as a child is tendered in, the native adaptive intelligence comes to life, and it reads or scans the child that is entering. And that's why it said the scintilla level makeup. The native adaptive intelligence reads the scintilla level makeup, and it tries to understand what natively they are good at. Unlike our schooling system where we already have a curriculum in place. The students coming will be learning all this. So this Shala is not like that. There is no restrictions of that sort. If the entering aspirant is a killer, the Shala will train them to be a better killer. They'll polish that trait. They're not going to tell them not to be a killer. I know it is not acceptable in our society, but I'm just saying that that's how my concept of Shala is. And if entering person is just good at destruction, which my main character is, Shala trains them for that. And so Raketu heard all of that, and she's saying, well, it sounds stifling. I suppose it is needed though, because Roy had said that they cannot exit until they finish everything. So she's saying, well, it sounds stifling because, with our schooling system, we go in the morning and then we come back in the afternoon or evening for some. It's not like you go in there and then, because with Shala, you go in and you come out at 15 after you have learned everything about survival. You can't just come out in the middle. So Roy says, well, it is all about self-learning, guru giving. One can best teach themselves, for others can only impart what they know. Sharing is a power display. Being the best of yourself is the idea and not a magnet to other physical being traits. Knowledge is never acquired or gained. It is infused. Whatever is required to survive in nature is already a part of you. Know it, promote it, use it. So again, he has pointed a lot of things here, Roy. Like he said, that sharing is a power display, and all these scientists, they think that they have something to share. Well, you have something to share because you want to show off that you have come up with this. It's a power display. And Roy is saying that you can best learn from yourselves, because whatever you need is already in you. Whatever you need to survive is already in you, but we have come up with the concept of society, and whatever we need to survive is not there in us. So that's why we need to start learning or conforming as soon as we are born, so that the society doesn't throw us out. But unfortunately, if we come back to our schooling system, they cannot begin to strive to let a child be their individual self, like I said, because it could be destructive. The child could be destructive, and society won't allow that. They want followers. They want conforming mass of people, because that's what works best. For all these people who are so diverse, for all of us to be together, we have to conform to the societal norms. Well, thank you for listening in. Please come back for more interesting take on Yuji's words and my interpretation, as written in my series, All Kaal None. This is author PB Flowers signing off. Until next time, bye.